Stop. If your cart is full of expensive organic labels, you might be throwing away 50 to 80% more at the checkout for no real benefit. I'm going to give you a simple rulebook. 11 foods you should never buy organic, why the label doesn't matter for them, and exactly what to do with the money you save. Quick heads up. Save or bookmark this video now if you want smarter grocery decisions. First, a tiny primer so you know what these labels actually mean. 100% organic is straightforward. Everything in the product meets the organic standard. Organic on a package usually means roughly 95% of the ingredients are organic. Made with organic ingredients drops down to around 70% organic content. Those percentages matter because a product can wear the word organic and still include conventional ingredients. Also, watch for two marketing traps. Hydroponic operations can sometimes use organic certification even though there's no soil involved. And organic processed foods, think cookies or toaster pastries, are still processed food. Organic sugar is still sugar. Now let's walk the list. For each item, I'll say why the organic label is low value or misleading and give a quick shopping tip you can use in the store. 1. Sea salt. Salt is a mineral, not a crop growing in a field, so it's not exposed to spraying the way fruits or vegetables are. When brands slap organic on sea salt, it's essentially marketing dressing. The product itself can't accumulate pesticide residues from a field. Your shopping tip? Buy the conventional sea salt you like and spend the premium elsewhere. If you want a special salt for texture or flavor, choose based on taste and grind, not the organic claim. 2. Wild-caught fish. Organic is meaningful when a farmer controls feed, soil, and imports. Wild animals living in open water don't have a regulated organic feed. Their diet is whatever they find. Labels that attempt to brand wild-caught fish as organic are at best confusing. The real concerns in fish are sustainability and contaminants like mercury or microplastics, which are unrelated to an organic stamp. Shopping tip? Prioritize sustainably caught or certified fish, and check advisories for mercury. Don't pay extra for an organic claim on wild fish. 3. Avocados. Avocados come wrapped in a thick, leathery skin that acts like a natural fortress against sprays. Pesticide penetration into the flesh is very unlikely, so buying organic avocados usually won't reduce meaningful exposure. Shopping tip? Save money and buy conventional avocados. If you're worried, rinse and dry the outside or simply cut away the skin and you're fine. 4. Baking soda. Sodium bicarbonate is a mined, processed mineral. It doesn't grow in a pesticide-sprayed field. An organic baking soda label is essentially meaningless and translates to extra cost for no exposure reduction. Shopping tip? Stick with the regular baking soda brand. Same ingredient, same function. 5. Bottled organic mineral water. Water can't be sprayed with pesticides in the way crops can, so the organic label here is more about branding and the bottler's marketing story. If the company wants to claim organic, they're usually referring to sourcing or processing claims that don't change the water's chemistry. Shopping tip: buy bottled water based on source, mineral content, price, and environmental footprint. Don't let organic inflate the price. 6. Hard-shelled nuts, walnuts, pecans, macadamia, Brazil nuts. These nuts carry a literal armor around the edible part. The shell blocks rain and sprays from reaching the kernel inside, so residues on the shell don't translate into meaningful contamination of what you eat. Shopping tip: buy conventional unshelled nuts if you want to save. They're often cheaper and just as safe after you crack and discard the shell. If bought shelled, compare prices. Conventional shelled nuts are usually fine. 7. Coconuts. Coconuts have one of the toughest natural barriers in the produce aisle. That thick husk and shell make it extremely unlikely for sprays to reach the white meat inside. The organic sticker here is usually about processing claims, not about lowering pesticide exposure. Shopping tip: buy conventional coconuts or coconut products unless you have a specific reason to splurge on organic. 8. Cabbage. Cabbage tends to be less intensively sprayed than many leafy greens and has tightly layered leaves you can peel away.
The outer leaves are what most sprays would land on. Removing them removes much of the surface residue. Shopping tip: buy conventional cabbage and peel off the outer leaves before use. If you're buying pre-shredded or salad mixes, follow the packaging and consider a quick rinse. 9. Bananas. Bananas come with a thick peel that protects the edible flesh. Pesticide residue tends to remain on the outside, and once you peel, you're not eating the sprayed surface. Buying organic bananas usually raises your bill without noticeable exposure reduction. Shopping tip: buy conventional bananas and peel them. Spend the savings on more vulnerable produce like berries. 10. Game meat: venison, wild boar, elk. Wild game eats what it finds. There's no standardized farm-controlled organic diet for wild animals. Applying organic to truly wild meat is often misleading because the core idea of organic is control over feed and inputs. If you're buying game, focus on source, testing, and local regulations. Shopping tip: if you enjoy wild game, buy from reputable suppliers who can speak to harvest practices. Don't assume organic means safer or cleaner in the wild context. 11. Organic labeled junk foods: cookies, toaster pastries, sugary snacks. This is classic marketing. Swap conventional sugar and flour for organic versions, and you get an organic cookie that still has the same calories, sugar, and often the same level of processing.
The organic claim doesn't make processed junk food a health food. Shopping tip: read the nutrition facts and ingredient list. If it's a highly processed, sweet, or salty snack, consider skipping it or buying a less processed alternative. Being organic isn't the point. This list might include a few surprises. One quick hack: when a protective shell, thick peel, or natural armor separates you from the external surface, organic status often delivers minimal benefit. Classic marketing trick here: labels exploit the premium word, not the science. A couple of extra notes while we're at it. Hydroponic operations, which grow plants without soil, have become more common, and there's debate about whether organic should apply the same way it does to soil-based farming. Certification rules vary, and if soil health is a major reason you buy organic, that soilless label may not provide what you expect. Also, keep an eye out for organic versions of highly processed foods. They're still processed. Okay, so you've stopped paying extra for those 11 items. Where should you put the money instead? Here's a short, prioritized list of foods where organic purchases tend to be a better investment because of higher pesticide risk or processing concerns. Think of these as the places where your budget bump pays off most. First-tier priorities: strawberries, leafy greens like spinach and kale, apples, and cherries. These have thin skins or are sprayed more heavily in many conventional systems, so they can end up with higher surface residues. Small surface area and delicate leaves can act like a sponge, so buying organic here can meaningfully lower exposure to sprayed chemicals. Second-tier priorities: grapes, including raisins, coffee and tea, and chocolate, cocoa. Coffee and tea are crops where processing and residues matter, and cacao is subject to fungicides in many growing regions. If you drink several cups a day, switching to organic for coffee or tea can be a practical place to reallocate funds. Third-tier priorities: peanuts and other legumes grown in soils with heavy pesticide use, and certain cereals and grains that may be desiccated with herbicides before harvest. Wheat, oats, and some pulses fall into this category. Note: herbicides like glyphosate are sometimes used as drying agents in parts of grain production. That's one reason some people prioritize organic grains, though practices vary by region. Also consider cotton-based products like tampons or infant clothing if you're sensitive to pesticide exposure from fabrics. Cotton is a heavily sprayed crop, and organic cotton avoids that input. If those items matter to you personally, they're a reasonable place to spend the savings. A few practical shopping strategies to make this work at the store. First, know your priorities and keep a short list of the high-risk items you'll buy organic. Second, when you're choosing between conventional and organic for low-risk items, compare price per unit. Organic can cost 50 to 80% more on average for some categories, and that premium adds up fast. Third, use simple food preparation hacks.
Peel thick-skinned fruits, remove outer leaves on cabbage or lettuce, and buy unshelled nuts and crack them yourself if the price is better. Fourth, pay attention to processing. Buying whole foods rather than packaged, processed organic snacks gets you more nutrition for your dollar. A couple of caveats worth repeating. Nothing here promises that conventional options are entirely residue-free. I'm pointing out where organic labeling is unlikely to reduce meaningful exposure or is being used mainly as marketing. Local farming practices and regulations vary, so adjust for your region if you know local growers do things differently. If you have specific health concerns or compromised immune systems, discuss food choices with a healthcare professional. Quick recap. Stop overpaying for organic sea salt, mineral water, baking soda, and those thick-shelled or shielded items like coconuts, hard nuts, avocados, bananas, cabbage, and wild game. Plus, don't be fooled by organic labeled junk food. Save that premium and use it where it counts. Berries, leafy greens, apples, grapes, coffee, tea, chocolate, and certain grains or cotton products. If this made you rethink your grocery list, save or bookmark this video now so you can come back to the shopping rules. And before you go, I've got a follow-up that goes deeper. Watch my next video where I lay out a room-by-room grocery cheat sheet. Every aisle, what to buy organic, what to skip, and how to keep your cart healthy without breaking the bank. Check the link or the description to jump straight to that guide.